Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Vandenbroek, and welcome to Digital. Over the next 5 minutes or so, we're going to show you how Digital's Open Advantage will open your eyes to an entirely new way of interacting with process data. In addition, we'll show you the potential this kind of openness, flexibility, and integration can offer. Now, imagine, if you will, a work environment not unlike yours, a work environment of the not-too-distant future, a workplace where process engineers, design engineers, and managers alike can easily access and manipulate information from multiple sources of process data simultaneously. What if I told you that now you could use your favorite application on the computer you use today and pull in data from all the control systems in your plant? Sound a little too far-fetched to be true? Well, we've done it here today. Take a long look at Digital's At a Glance, bringing the process to the desktop. Now, that's quite a claim. Quite a mouthful, but how does all this translate into making you more effective and more productive? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. And to provide a few good answers, let's talk to some typical employees at a typical plant, aptly called Typico. Yeah, you know, when I first started working here at Typico, I really wore holes in my shoes, going from office to another, back to the control room, back to the floor, then back to my office, collecting and analyzing data by hand. Not to mention all the rigmarole of re-entering this stuff into my PC. Now, I don't need to tell you how frustrating and time-consuming that was, and in my job, time is never on my side. But take a glance at this. Right now I'm running 123, and I need to know exactly what's going on out there. Digital's At a Glance has actually made it possible for me to plug Lotus 123 right into all my different supervisory systems. It gives me live access to all the data I need to keep my eye on things. Let me give you a sample of what I mean. Here's a list of tag names of the loops in my north plant. Using this Lotus macro, I can tell At a Glance to get the data, which ends up in this column up here on the left, and is charted over there on the right. You see, what we're doing is pulling live data into standard Lotus 123. All right, Charlie, let's change a tag name here. You see, without changing anything else, At a Glance automatically updates the values in the cells, and you can see on the bar chart over there how it responds to the change. Now, I've got the same problem as most of you have, because the control system in my south plant is completely different from the one in my north plant. But with At a Glance, I can gather data from both systems simultaneously and in the same worksheet. Okay, Charlie, give me those numbers from the south plant. Bingo. What At a Glance really means to me is that I can get to the problem-solving part of my job without getting bogged down simply gathering all this data. If Digital keeps this up, I might even have to get myself a new pair of shoes without the holes. Well, obviously, a process engineer like that could certainly benefit from the interactive nature of At a Glance. But what about someone who has a different kind of job, using a different set of tools on a different computer? Say a design engineer. Oh, good. You caught us at a good time. You see, we just had an idea about how to fix that nagging problem over there in the north plant. Let's take a look at what's going on out there. You know, I've never lacked for data, but now with At a Glance, I have the tools to explore the problem and zero in on the answer. All right, Charlie, let's bring up that historical trend we were working on before. Now, what we're going to be doing is looking at the history of 5 of my process variables over the last 6 days. Now, currently, I'm using an engineering spreadsheet called Excess. Now, just as with Lotus 123, At a Glance has allowed us to connect this spreadsheet directly into our control systems. Okay, Charlie, let's look a little further back. Okay, good. Hold it right there. Now, that looks interesting. Now, let's change the time interval and look at it a little bit closer. You see, what we're actually doing here is talking to the data historian in our supervisory systems live. Okay, now these 2 trends up here look somewhat related, and that might be the answer to my problem. Time to bring out a bigger hammer. You see, At a Glance isn't limited to connecting spreadsheets to your process. It also connects any desktop application, even a powerful statistical package like RS1. Now, to check my hypothesis, let's have RS1 look at the same data and perform a correlation between the variables. Now, what I have up here on the screen is the correlation between the 2 trends, the equation of the fit, and even some statistical measures of the quality of the correlation. And there you have it. Because At a Glance works with different applications, I can pick the right tool for the right job. And at a glance makes it so easy to get the data that now I can spend more time actually exploring the problem. Yes, sir, we really took a big step into the future with at a glance, and now with all those third-party tools becoming available, I might even get a vacation. Well, maybe next year. Well, finally, we need to express the needs of people who see things from a managerial point of view. Now, for example, as a plant manager, it's my responsibility to keep an eye on the bottom line. Now, until now, it's been pretty tough because we've had lots of different systems up here. Using at a glance, however, with a graphical user interface tool called Data Views, I now not only have a broad view of all the areas that I'm responsible for, but I can drill down to bring up data in greater detail. Now, let me just get that, hang on. Yeah, Smith here. Yeah, sure, let me check in the inventory. Now, all right, so I'm going to be checking inventories in a couple of different places throughout the plant. First off, we're going to check a local inventory here. Well, things look pretty good there. Let's come out of that and look over in plant B here. Take a look at some statistics. Well, that looks pretty good, I'll tell you. The unit seems to be running above normal. I think we'll be caught up by the time you need it. Right, talk to you later. I'll tell you, I'm no computer expert, but this sure makes me feel like one. And what makes this real for all of you is that at a glance connects to the existing systems in your plant, bringing the process to the desktop. Now today at ISA, Digital and its partners have done just that. Connected many of the control systems you see right up here on the floor to these desktop tools. Here's a display of live data coming from Allen Bradley, Biles & Associates, Fisher Controls, Intolution, GE Fanuc, Jensen, LabTech, MyTech, Oil Systems, and SetPoint. And all of these companies have at a glance running in their booths today. At a glance is built on open technologies and standards that let users pick a desktop that they want, run it on their own hardware, and provide it with data from existing plant systems. We now invite you to take part in a hands-on demonstration right up here on the stage to learn more about the uses of these tools and more information about how at a glance can connect to other applications as well. I want to thank you so much for your time and attention. If you have any questions, come on up and ask Charlie anything you'd like to. Thanks so much.